Hey everybody, it is Matty here with Altcoin Buzz, and I hope you're having a very nice Thursday out there. We're looking at a whole bunch of stories today, largely good news overall and some bullish predictions. We're looking at the world of pension funds and Morgan Creek Digital, what they're up to by way of Bloomberg. Some pretty good news that we're going to discuss as far as that goes. We have some brief updates that we'll touch on by NASDAQ, who are launching Bitcoin and Ethereum indices. We have Mike Novogratz, who's coming out and saying some pretty good things about the space. Every few months, he kind of crawls back out and uplifts the general collective sentiment, as has Fundstrat. They've said some pretty good things as well, even though I think among all of the analysts and all of the personalities, Tommy Lee over at Fundstrat he may have the worst track record to date because he spoke very specifically about 2018 after all. Nevertheless, we will give him the time of day, take a look at what he's saying. We also have a very quick introduction to some of the new initiatives that are possible with VeChain and what they're doing, how the blockchain can be applied to supply chain management. But let's begin here on altcoinbuzz.io with this article by Licia about Electroneum. Will it make crypto purposeful? So Electroneum is gathering pace, writes Licia. It was launched in September 2017, and the project has managed to attract numerous crypto enthusiasts. I know for a fact that it is a favorite among many of you out there in the Altcoin Buzz army. In fact, it is the fastest growing cryptocurrency to date, and there are good reasons why. If you haven't watched our dedicated video about Electroneum, I'll invite you guys to do so. In fact, we're going to link to that in the description below. But one of the main goals here is to bypass so many of the excessive fees that are associated with traditional banking. So is it possible to do it? ETN claims that the answer is yes. All you need to purchase is a smartphone and start using Electroneum, which describes itself as, quote, fully regulatory compliant digital asset that transfers instantly and safely on the blockchain. You can read more about chasing the unbanked as Alicia unfurls the story and the use case of Electroneum. You can check out why it's significant, what its advantages are versus Bitcoin. And again, go back and make sure that you not only leave Alicia an article comment here, but check out our video that we made dedicated specifically to this issue. In other news, we're getting into the world of pension funds. Morgan Creek Digital secured more money than it wanted. Article here also by Licia. So Morgan Creek Digital is the affiliate of the investment manager Morgan Creek Capital Management LLC has secured funds, and more than it expected. 2 U.S. pension funds are its anchor investors. So these are the 2 specific funds here based in Fairfax County, Virginia. They've become the anchor investors, and according to Bloomberg, they have provided the new venture capital fund with a certain sum. Anthony Pompliano, Morgan Creek Digital founder, confirmed the investment. He said also that investors have jumped on board. These include an insurance company, a university endowment, and a private foundation. And although the new funds will resemble traditional venture capital funds, the thing is that he also added that the fund will partially hold Bitcoin. You also have Catherine Molnar, Chief Investment Officer of one of the pension fund. She described blockchain technology as, quote, an emerging opportunity that offers an attractive asymmetric return profile. So Morgan Creek Digital is not a giant, is no behemoth in the space, but it holds currently $40 million in funds, about $15 million more than it originally wanted. And this to me is an intelligent quote by Pompliano that sums it all up. So he said, the smart money is not distracted by price, but looks at the long-term trends and believes they're betting on innovation as a great way to deliver risk-mitigated returns. If you want to read more about the story and all the specifics associated with Morgan Creek, you can do so here on Bloomberg as well. First, U.S. pension funds take the plunge on cryptocurrency investing. This article from the other day on February 12th. In bigger news, arguably, NASDAQ is now launching Bitcoin and Ethereum indices on Global Index Data Services. NASDAQ is going to launch Bitcoin and Ethereum indices on the company's Global Index Data Services to offer real-time price updates to clients. Article here by Luke. On the 25th of February, the NASDAQ will launch 2 new indices that will be tracking cryptocurrency prices. The indices will show the value of Bitcoin and Ethereum. The indices are to be added by the end of the month, again, the 25th of February, in collaboration with New Zealand blockchain data and research firm Brave New Coin. Here is the official announcement. Quote, the Bitcoin Liquid Index, BLX, and the Ethereum Liquid Index, ELX, are each designed to provide a real-time all-time spot or reference rate for the price of one Bitcoin and one Ethereum, respectively, quoted in US dollars and based on the most liquid ends of their markets. NASDAQ also added, quote, both indices are calculated using a methodology that has been independently audited against key IOSCO principles. The BLX is one of the most widely referenced BTC indices among crypto traders and has been calculated back to 2010. Likewise, the ELX has been calculated back to 2014. And just in case you still had any lingering doubt, Luke reminds us that back in January, Adena Friedman, the president and CEO of NASDAQ, she stated that she believes that Bitcoin could become a major world currency in the future. It's all happening behind the scenes, guys. Forget about price. At the moment, this to me is a good omen, and we're just getting started. We're setting the foundations here. We're laying the brickwork. And perhaps capitalizing on some of the positive news we have when it comes to institutional infrastructure, we have Michael Novogratz, who strikes again and promises a new rally. Article here by Licia, the hat trick. So a well-known crypto veteran, Mike Novogratz, is back. The former Goldman Sachs partner posits that Bitcoin occupies a unique spot in the crypto landscape. He also promises a new rally soon. So Novogratz had a big interview with Bloomberg. He said that the crypto market at the end of 2017 and 2018 was a bubble. Once it popped, everybody had to endure. Now the retail frenzy is gone and various institutions are getting more and more comfortable with crypto. Among other things, he talked about the custodial solutions powered by Fidelity and the soon-to-be launched Bakkt as an example of institutionally led crypto revolution. So he said, quote, over the next 6 to 12 months, you are going to see institutions put a small amount of their assets in digital currencies, he said. Within this context, he also mentioned big institutions like Yale University, which recently invested in the crypto space. Once the institutional money is in place, a new rally will start, according to Novogratz, and Bitcoin will become digital gold. And he used the periodic table as a metaphor. Quote, there are 118 elements on the periodic table, and only one gold is valued just because it's the store of value. Bitcoin is going to be digital gold, a place where you have sovereign money. It's not US money, it's not Chinese money, it's sovereign. Sovereignty costs a lot, and it should. Now, I think these bullish predictions by guys like Novogratz is all well and good, but as always, caveat, disclaimer, I always advise you guys to take it with a grain of salt. He's been wrong in the past. Of course, he's not immune. He's not infallible. He did say, if you remember back in September, he said it's impossible for Bitcoin not to hit $10,000 by the end of 2018. Well, we saw, there were a few details that derailed Bitcoin, not the least of which was the Bitcoin Cash fork, but certainly we're still well below 10,000, and that was never even something that was going to be realistic based on the price trajectory. Everything is always 2020 in hindsight, right? But needless to say, we did not hit 10,000. So look, Mike Novogratz is behind Galaxy Digital. It's obviously in his interest to pump up this space, to get the momentum and the hysteria and the enthusiasm and the FOMO going. So listen to what he has to say, but take it with a grain of salt. That's all. If you want to check out his extended coverage here, his interview with Bloomberg, Bitcoin is going to be digital gold, says Galaxy's Novogratz. This is from February 13th. We will link to it in the description below. In other positive news, and this is perhaps an organization and an individual in the form of Tom Lee that has lost a good degree of their credibility, at least in my opinion. I mean, their track record has been terrible. They've been on really the flip side as far as accuracy of every prediction that they've made. So they've said one thing and the exact opposite has happened. So Fundstrat, however, article by Licia, believes the future is looking bright for crypto. Fundstrat Global Advisors, the New York-based firm, believes that 2019 will be a good year for the crypto industry. In its latest report, the company outlined potential factors which will drive the prices up. Thomas Lee on Twitter said that, quote, data science speaks louder than gurus. Let's take a look specifically at what he had to tweet. So crypto, we published our 2019 crypto outlook this AM. This is back on February 8th of 2019. Positive incremental developments coming. First paragraph below. I'm not going to be a contrarian just for the sake of being a contrarian. In fact, I actually agree with Tom Lee in this sense. This is one of his less bombastic tweets and one of his less sensational predictions. I really have no problem, guys, with slow incremental growth. I mean, you take a couple of percentage points growth every month, really, that's amazing. That's an astounding growth rate that will beat out really any other investment in any other space. So as long as we can kind of stick to that slow incremental growth, I mean, that's still better than really any other paradigm out there. I'll take that any day of the week. As long as it's positive, as long as it's incremental in the long term, great. Let's see that happen. I hope Thomas Lee is right in this instance. It's one of his perhaps more conservative predictions. Let's hope it comes true. And with that, we're not going to look at this article in much detail, but a lot of you are fans of VeChain, and this is an interesting piece looking at what they do. So with VeChain, MyStory launches wine bottle verification system. This is on cryptonews.com, and you can take a look at some of the applications that are kind of like out-of-the-box thinking applications that you wouldn't necessarily associate with blockchain, perhaps. But the idea here is that MyStory is going to tag their bottles with the MyStory label. The users can scan these labels to learn about various interesting facts about the wines that cover all the aspects, starting from the initial stages of the wine production till when it was packed into the wine bottles. This is to give the customer a sense of authenticity, connection, verification, and trust. So these VeChain hardware tags could usher in a new wave of innovation, and this is something that other, whether they're wine vineyards and bottlers, manufacturers, or any other product, really, I think you're going to see some other manufacturers following suit. But interesting story here, and just to end on this quote, traditionally, product characteristics such as origin, quality, sustainability, and so on have been used to deliver product in a risk-averse risk management perspective rather than a brand building perspective. So it just gives you a sense that there's a lot of potential here as far as what this technology could be used for. I think VeChain has, despite the fact that the price performance has not been that great, let's be honest, they have a lot of potential as far as applying this kind of thinking and these kinds of strategies in all aspects of the supply chain. So if you want to check out this article, there's a lot more to it. We're not going to go over all of it, but you can find it linked to in our description below. And with that, everybody, do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications. Our last video is right here for you to check out. Be sure to check out our website, which always has new content, altcoinbuzz.io. If you choose to invest on this Thursday, then I wish you only the very best of luck. We do hope to see you guys again soon, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, in our next video. Take care.